Bushcare has been an important activity in the Blue Mountains for several years. What is Bushcare? Bushcare is a process of returning environmentally damaged sites to their original state with a healthy community of local native plants and animals.
Oh, did you come in Australia?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'd love to do that. That's all right. Come in. Hi Nora, how are you?
The activities required in this process include closing off disused tracks, brush matting uses locally collected plant material to replace native seed in the soil and to control erosion. Planting is undertaken in areas which are unlikely to produce regrowth of native species on their own. The final outcome should include a mix of local native shrubs and ground cover species, as well as mature eucalypts, like this one. Many different people are involved in Bushcare projects. It is a family activity involving parents, children, and their grandparents. It is a social activity where people can catch up with their friends. TAFE classes are an important part of Bushcare. They provide technical and construction skills, while the students are learning the practical components of their trade. Council workers, such as the local Bushcare officer, provide important guidance and support to Bushcare groups.
Motivating photographs saying and I saw one of them, I thought, this struck me just now, applies to the Bushcare groups. It says, a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it has never been otherwise.
But also it was sort of being able to work out a more far-reaching plan, because at first it felt like once we learned how to do the actual weeding, that it was just sweeping the sand, you know, you just keep on weeding, but then you come back, there's more there, and that sort of thing. But it's learning to understand the long-term effects of what you're doing. Yeah, it's really great, and that's where the expertise comes in.
That's fine. We've made a big difference to the world, just in the way, you know, there's 10 acres or whatever we're looking at.
Many things motivate Bushcare volunteers. Most volunteers would share the common goal of looking after the world we live in. Bushcare projects exist in many areas of the Blue Mountains. Like the Blue Mountains Urban Runoff Control Program, some projects focus on whole catchment areas. The Popes Glen project, for example, manages the Popes Glen Creek area, which feeds Horseshoe Falls and goes into the Govetts Creek and the Grace River. The Gordon Falls project concentrates on the catchment feeding Gordon Creek.
What's being left
Other
behind is this
projects,
ephemeral
such
pond.
as the one at Sublime
And,
Point,
although we've got
are
probably
located in
willow
reserves
species
containing
invading
bushland
it, which
blocks
we'll
of
deal with
important
the next time
vegetation
it dries
species
out.
and animal habitats.
It does make for a very important additional habitat on this site. Going to stick
Some
mainly to the
projects
reserves.
operate in reserves
Even though this is
adjoining the
it's a
volunteers'
very
homes.
fragmented reserve,
Roller
we've actually come
Park
across
is
a
an
rare
example of
species
this type of
on the
reserve.
last visit we came here, and there's some significant. Well, you might get a chance to have a look at a few plants today. We're going to go out to some of the lookouts around Lake Heave, so it's an opportunity to see some of the more scenic areas of the mountains while we're out and about.
Recreational parkland is part of the local environment, which brings fond memories to many of us. Projects like Alf Mitchell Park focus on maintaining this type of reserve. Bushcare volunteers carry out a range of different activities. Removal of weeds by hand is the most common activity which volunteer groups are involved in. Here are volunteers digging up Mombretia.
If you leave one of these corms behind, it grows again. And on top of that, it has flowers and produces seeds, so it's very, very persistent, very difficult to get rid of.
Blackberry can also be removed by hand, but it may need a lever to remove the whole root system. A little bit of persistence goes a long way. Woody weeds are a major problem in the mountains. They are removed by cutting them down and then applying glyphosate poison to the remaining root system. Correct cutting procedures and safety are key issues when felling small trees such as pine trees.
Basically what we're doing here,
Once the weeds have been removed from a site, it is a preferred practice to allow native plants to regrow from seed on the site. Sometimes, however, it is important to use brush matting techniques to reduce the likelihood of erosion on a site and to increase the native seed bank in areas such as old tracks and roads.
roots to open and release their seed onto the ground. The brush matting's just laid down on the ground. There's no real art to it, just making sure that the lengths are long enough to lock into each other. You may have to put some heavy pieces over the top, a lighter pieces to stop them blowing away.
When regrowth is unlikely in certain areas of site, or where an area has been landscaped, plantings can be used to speed up the revegetation process. Bushcare works best when the factors contributing to weed problems are removed from a site. Good stormwater management can help to control one of these factors. Initial planning of stormwater management is important before installing control structures.
In actually redesigning what is termed to have been a drainage line, and to actually reconstruct it and take it back to a creek, some form of creek line.
Construction of stormwater control structures should consider their aesthetic appeal as well as easy maintenance.
That's not an opportunity for most people. How did you get that then? Is it?
Survived,
Really?
just standing there and stuff like that.
Yeah, they are pretty, the ones that come in.
Well, it's just raining through.
What's happening here, like when we put in
Planting is important to establish suitable vegetation and seed sources in drainage lines.
Was it started motor, was it?
Yeah, well, it wasn't the old man, it wasn't eventually the stone man.
As part of their contribution to the community, many Bushcare volunteers participate in special activities such as the nationwide Clean Up Australia Day program. Some Bushcare projects are concerned mainly with monitoring and recording the presence of plant and animal species on degraded sites. This is to help interested parties make informed decisions about the use and the care of bushland sites in the Blue Mountains.
The way we've set up this display is to try and demonstrate a few of the things that we do within the catchment to help with education and also to make people just generally more aware of what's happening.
Okay. Why don't you come along?
Bushcare is above all a social activity where community members can meet old friends, make new ones, and have fun while they're helping to look after their local environment.
Been doing it. And how I help this? And how I help you? To discuss it in detail.
I know I've said before, and this is a good opportunity to say it again, you are a terrific bunch of people to work with, and I thank you all for your commitment and your hard work and your dedication, and also for just being such thoroughly terrific people to spend every fourth Saturday of every month with. It's just great working with you all.
We enjoyed coming in.
Yeah, exactly right. If it
The only problem is morning tea's not early enough.
We can probably have 2 more.
Easily.
There are many ways to get involved in local bushcare programs. A good place to start is by contacting your local bushcare officer at Blue Mountain City Council by ringing 02 47 82 0777. Weed of the Month brochures are printed in the Blue Mountains Gazette, or they can be collected from your nearest council office. These can help you identify and remove weeds from your garden or nearby bushland. You could attend your local bushcare group's next workday. These are usually held on Saturday, once a month. A list of Bushcare Network contact phone numbers is available from Council, so you can contact your local Bushcare group. Various different information days and activities are held annually. World Environment Day, for example, is a good opportunity to find out more about bushcare and other ways to care for the environment. Blue Mountains TAFE offers several courses in bush regeneration and land revegetation, which can help to explain the processes used in bushcare. Finally, if you feel enthusiastic enough, you could encourage your neighbours to help you form a bushcare group to work on one of your local reserves.